We are raising taxes on doctors at the time we are trying to reduce the cost of health care. We are raising taxes on pharmacies and pharmacists at the time we are seeking ways to reduce the cost of medicine. We are raising taxes on builders and architects and landscapers and plumbers at the time we are seeking to reduce the cost of housing so that more Washingtonians can live indoors. So, Madam Speaker, this is poorly thought out tax policy. We are taxing a large number of people and it will be bad for the Washington economy. And that doesn't mean that we don't believe in affordable and accessible education. It means that we think there's a better way.
We're not here to argue tonight about the college grant. I think a lot of us think that's a good thing. But why can't we take $1 million, $2 million, $10 million, whatever the number is, out of somewhere that's not working and put it towards this account that we think is so great?
We're always talking about the revenue side. I've never heard a speech on a bill in here that gets passed where we talk about the other side of the ledger. I got elected in 2012. Our budget was roughly $34 billion. Today it's $52 billion. Are you telling me that in the last 8 years we haven't been able to make this the priority? Instead, we're raising taxes, and we're going to wonder why houses aren't more affordable, because we're taxing home builders, architects, engineers. We're going to wonder why health care is not more affordable, because we're taxing dentists, health care providers, skilled nursing.
We heard a lot tonight, Mr. Speaker, about all the good things that increased access to college financial aid will do for this state. And by far, the biggest beneficiaries of that policy are going to be a large multinational software company based in Redmond and another pretty large multinational software company based in downtown Seattle. And those companies, Mr. Speaker, should be the ones who pay this tax because they asked for it, not the doctors and optometrists and dentists and pro bono lawyers and builders of affordable housing who didn't ask to be taxed, who asked not to be taxed, and for whom this higher tax will make all of those services like health care and housing more expensive at a time they need to be more affordable.
None of the truckers who are trying to haul goods so that we can have fresh fruit on our tables and fresh vegetables were in my office asking for an increase in B&O tax rate. Mr. Speaker, it's not impugning when we simply understand the facts that there were a handful of business leaders who said this is a great idea. Please follow. And the vast majority of businesses and service providers in Washington state said no.
There's lots of evidence that our constituents, all of our constituents, have had enough of us raising the cost of living here. We saw a number of tax advisory votes on the last statewide ballot that were defeated by the will of the people, who are even more greatly frustrated that their will is not enforceable because the advisory vote's only advisory. But it's an important indicator, Madam Speaker. It's an important indicator that the will of the people to pay more taxes and more taxes and more taxes has come to an end.